And good evening. We're live in the WEIU TV studios as the WEIU Our Story train has stopped in Dietrich for Dietrich. This is Our Story. I'm Ramin Karbassian.
And I'm Keanne Armstrong. Thank you so much for joining us for Dietrich. This is Our Story. We're live in the studio and we are excited to share Dietrich with the world.
This is our 18th Our Story program, and it's on Dietrich tonight with 13 stories by 16 storytellers. We have storytellers in the studio tonight, and we'll be talking to them throughout the show.
We have operators on this side who will take your calls later. We have some folks over there on the other side. Wave to everybody right there from Dietrich, Illinois. We're live on Facebook tonight, YouTube. We're on over the air, on cable, satellite. We're everywhere you can reach us. So don't go anywhere. This is going to be
Dietrich. This is Our Story.
Coming your way right now on WEIU.
Dietrich, This is Our Story on WEIU is brought to you in part by Founded in 1889, Wright's Furniture and Flooring is a longtime supporter of all things Dietrich. With the philosophy of treating others as we would wish to be treated, Wright's Furniture and Flooring wants to thank all of the champions, volunteers, and storytellers for making Dietrich, This is Our Story possible on WEIU. We are proud to be from Dietrich. Enjoy the show from Wright's Furniture and Flooring. Community is the word to describe Dietrich, an excellent place to live, coupled with a rich history of farming and industry, and now still moving forward. The village of Dietrich, Illinois is a proud partner of WEIU for Dietrich, This is Our Story, and thank you to all of our Dietrich storytellers. Niebrugge Lumber, located in Dietrich, just 10 minutes from Interstate 57 and 70. We service all of our surrounding areas, including Effingham, Jasper, Clay, and Shelby counties, and more. We are proud to be a supporter of Dietrich, This is Our Story on WEIU TV. Enjoy the show from all of us at Niebrugge Lumber. Dietrich Bank, a community bank with community values. Our employees are your friends and neighbors, which is why they are so passionate about being involved in the neighborhoods and towns they serve. Dietrich Bank salutes the people and the stories involved with Dietrich. This is Our Story on WEIU. EJ Water is grateful for all the individuals who have helped Dietrich become the thriving community it is today. We are proud to be a part of the community and the surrounding areas we serve. We strive to improve the quality of life the cooperative way, and Dietrich is a part of our foundation, which allows us to do so. We hope everyone appreciates the history and enjoys Dietrich, This is Our Story on WEIU. Dietrich, This is Our Story is partially supported by a grant from the Illinois Arts Council, a state agency.
In 1837, Samuel Bishop came to this area, just actually west of here, and settled in the area of Bishop. And around 1870, Michael Diederich came to this community and bought some land on what is now the southeast part of Diederich, and he was farming that land until the railroad came through in 1880. And it came through his land, and during that time frame, I think he realized that this was going to start growing with the railroad coming through. So he subdivided his land in about 1881 and established our first train station. And that was what was named Diederichsburg, the southeast part of this area. And pretty quickly, the area became Diederich, mostly because of the telegraph had to shorten Diederichsburg to become Diederich. So his name became the name of the town in that area. Then there was a man by the last name of Grace that also settled north of the tracks, and he named his area Graceville. Now, if you look at this community today, those are pretty close proximity for two towns, but he did name his little town. And then my great-great-grandfather came about 1882 and came to the area that is now where the school sits and bought that section of Diederich. Now, he didn't try to name his town, he just called it the Horn Addition. So William Horn named his the Horn Addition to Diederich. With the train station there and the train coming through, people came pretty quickly and businesses came to the community. They had to have the basic services. You couldn't travel to Effingham or other large areas to get your supplies day to day. So quickly they had stables and lots of different general stores, furniture stores, anything that you needed to live day to day. They even had hotels back then, which aren't like what we consider a hotel today. They were more or less someplace that you would go and stay, and likely the size of a house. So throughout the 1880s, Diederich grew, and as we decided that we needed to start setting our own laws and our own ordinances, that they brought together a town council, and on April 28, 1893, the community decided to incorporate and become an official community or town, and they named it Diederich. So they incorporated Graceville and also the Horn subdivision and any other areas that had been subdivided into this community. And by 1909, we had actually established our own sidewalks to the entire community. We had also a telegraph service, we had phone services, we had rural mail and local mail. And by 39 years past Diederich's founding, Diederich was one of the largest shippers of grain, livestock, feed, and also seed. So the downtown that you see today in the picture in our background is actually about what Diederich looked like at about that time. Eventually, highways came through in the 1920s, as did electricity and other modern conveniences. You would see cars driving through, and also a mix of cars and horses at that time. I think to summarize what makes Diederich special is that connection to its history, how much work those founders did, and then their descendants to continue to grow this community and believe in this community. When they had a vision, they went after it, and you can see that in our memorials and our celebrations. Each year, our 4th of July committee comes together and says, how can we make this bigger and better than the year before? And I think that summarizes 1880 when we started all the way to now, is how can we make this bigger and better than ever before, and do it with that small town feel that keeps everybody connected and everybody neighbors and benefits everyone in the community.
In 1986, a group of leaders were concerned about the direction of the community, possibly the deterioration of some of the buildings and the way that the community looked, and also the school. At that time, there was a move to consolidate a lot of schools, and we were very aware that if you lose your school, your town is probably not long after that. So a bunch of leaders got together and formed the DCDC. The name Dietrich Community Development Corporation is important because it's the community. It's not just the village of Dietrich. And we started out, we didn't know what we were doing. So we invited speakers from all over. We had Eastern Illinois University, we had Western, we had University of Illinois, Lakeland College, come and talk to us and say, help us with the direction that we should be moving and what we should be doing to promote our town and to save our school. And it went very well. So we went to the village and we said, we have this idea and we want to promote a TIF district. And they researched it, and it was $35,000 at the time to set up a TIF. And the town researched it and they said, we can't do that. And so our group said, okay, we believe in it, we'll pay for it. And if it doesn't work, you don't have to pay us back. So we formed our first TIF, and DCDC built the first spec house in the TIF district, sold it before it was done, and the town paid us back within 24 months. So it was a huge success, and we now have over 130 new homes and 2 industrial parks in our TIF areas. So now we have added onto our school enrollment is going up. The DCDC group, that was our main focus, is the school. We've got to save the school. And to do that, we knew we had to get more population. And so I think that's the one thing that we really hang our hat on, is that we feel like we played such an important role in saving the school, which basically school and the town are the same. And we feel really, really proud about that. And along those lines then, we formed DCIF, which is Dietrich Community Improvement Foundation. And it's a 501c3 not-for-profit. And we can use donations and do projects. So we've done projects for elderly, built ramps on their homes, and we helped with the memorial, with the park pavilion, things like that, where they can use us as a vehicle, and we can channel those funds to the proper place. So that's been good too. We've been involved in a lot of projects, and among those were the Subway restaurant, the Verizon Media Tower in town, the Park District I mentioned, the Wright Family Center. EJ Water was a result of some work from DCDC. So I think Dietrich now is on a path where they'll continue to grow. We're going to be in the background, still promoting, still doing whatever we can do, but people now they like that quality of life, the small town, the school. So that's going to be a real plus in the future, and I think now Dietrich is on the right path.
It's just community support. It's all about the kids. We've tried to preach that to everybody that works in the school system. What's most important for the kids, what's best for the kids. And community has supported that 100%. It's just been great.
When I became principal, we were starting to downslide with the school, so to speak, as far as funding. Enrollment was questionable, long-term, et cetera. And I felt that, part of if you're going to be in business, which I tried to treat school as a business, you've got to offer a good product. But I met with the teachers, about offering additional course offerings. And so collectively we came up with the idea that everybody was interested in doing that in their own particular field. They'd like to offer something special for the kids. So we were able to add a period to our day. We cut our class length down, added a period, added a class from each subject area. So the teachers agreed, without extra pay, to have an additional class to teach, an additional prep, and go from there. So that sets the attitude that we tried to instill in our kids, in our community, that we're going to do a good job with what we have. I became superintendent for the good, bad, and the ugly there, and got involved with the DCDC group, which will be alluded to later. But that kicked us off on how do we stop the not stop the consolidation of farming, but the decline in enrollment resulting from consolidation of farming, and the village not growing, no new houses within a 16-year span. So that's how we were faced with. Got involved with the DCDC group. That helped bring everything together. But the school was a major player in that. We used the kids, the school, as a focus of why we need to do this.
We see a lot of growth here recently, but that started years ago. Bill, it was 1980s, I believe, when DCDC was formed and this initiative came into play. So it didn't happen overnight. It was a long process, and it has really shown a lot of growth. A good example is in 2010, our enrollment was 426 students. This year, 2024, 612. So that's an over 30% growth in 13 years. So what the community leaders saw, their vision back in the 80s, is coming true now. And growth in the community, growth in the school, it's good for everybody. It's been really great. And the vision that they had as DCDC leaders back in the 80s was phenomenal. A good point that Mr. McLean made earlier was the work ethic of the community. And that really shows in our schools. Our parents expect a lot out of their children, and they expect a lot out of the school system. And it really shows. It certainly makes our job a lot easier. When the kids come in and they're prepared, they really want to learn, and their work ethic is through the roof. So that's what makes our school exemplary. We're rated by the Illinois State Board of Education as an exemplary school. That means we are in the top 10% in the state. And we're very proud of that. We have a very supportive community. Basically anything that we need or ask, as long as it's justified, it's there for us. We have volunteers that come into the district to sewing is a good example. That we'll bring in some of the ladies and they'll teach our kids how to sew. And the school is kind of the heartbeat of this small community. Whether it be our sports teams, Grandparents' Day is a great example. Grandparents' Day would blow your mind. It culminates with a lunch. This year our staff served right around 1,000 meals in about 2 hours. At graduation time, we tell our students every year, go out, explore the world. It's a great place. But when you're ready, come back, because we know at some point in their lives they'll be ready to come back to Diedrich. It's a wonderful place. Once a Maroon, always a Maroon.
We're 135 years old, and I believe the village of Diedrich is 131, I think. So we're actually older than the village. The store started in 1889. Started by my great-grandfather, G.W. Wright. The story goes as there was a land rush in Arkansas, and he had a ticket, and he had all his goods loaded on the train. He was postmaster and general store proprietor, and a gentleman approached him to take his place on the train. So my great-grandfather said he couldn't make it just with the furniture store. He wanted to buy the funeral home also. So the proprietor of the funeral home got together, and he was elderly, I understand, and he sold out. So Wright's Furniture and Funeral Home was born in 1889. The first location was where E.J. Water is now. We moved into the location that we're at now in the Depression, so we've been there a long time. G.B. was my grandfather. Arlen was his brother. Arlen passed away. G.B. was the sole proprietor of the furniture store and funeral home at that time. He ran it for several years. 1970, my father bought the store and the funeral home from my grandfather. Ran it until probably in the late 80s. My brother Tom and myself then were fortunate. My father gifted it to us, and we have ran with it. He basically gave us the keys and said, don't wreck the car. So that's what happened. So I'm the fourth generation. I worked at the furniture store since I've been probably 10 or 11 years old, and have my entire life. Started, and my brother did also. We dusted furniture, then we delivered. We learned bookkeeping, We cleaned bathrooms. That was very important in the development of us, I think, because I've never asked an employee to do something that I wouldn't do myself. I think that's very important. So my grandfather and my father operated a funeral home up until about 1990 sometime, and we sold the funeral home at that time. We've opened a Lazy Boy Gallery in the early 90s. We've moved into 2 warehouses since that time. In 1997, I think it was, we did the first expansion that we went outside of Diedrich. We bought a interior decorating store in Effingham, renamed it Right at Home Interiors. It's still working today. 2017, we expanded into Robinson, Illinois. And then in 2019, we expanded into Taylorville, Illinois. We also just completed in 2023, we just completed a 35,000 square foot distribution center that will take care of all the distribution of furniture to all 4 locations. That's what we do out of that. My father taught me a valuable lesson years ago that, be good to the community and the community will be good to you. So I think it's very in our DNA or instilled in us that we have to be community minded and support our community. We're very, very involved in the school as far as supporting their post-prom, athletics, things like that. Scholar Bowl, all the things that needs to be supported. We're very supportive of our school and other schools in the area also. Not just, again, I said that we expanded to Robinson, Taylorville, Effingham. We contribute to all those areas also. Very important to be part of the school. The pride, my family runs very deep, but it's intertwined in Diedrich. And it always has been, I hope it always will be. I've got a daughter that works at Wrights now and a nephew. Hopefully they'll make that their career and stay here. I hope we see a 6th generation, to be honest with you. So.
And we're back in the WEIU TV studios as we have just started Diedrich. This is our story. We shared the first 4 stories. Carrie Galbraith got us started with the origin of Diedrich. It was Dietrichsburg before it was Diedrich. Tom Wright talked about the Diedrich Community Development Corporation, and you're going to hear that name a lot in the rest of the program. Carrie Jackson, Bill McLean talked about Diedrich schools, and you just saw John Wright talking about Wright's Furniture in Diedrich.
So many great stories starting off this program about Diedrich, Illinois this evening. We have some of those same people right here behind us waiting to talk to you. We want to offer you a copy of the program tonight. It may be a DVD, a Blu-ray, flash drives. It's up to you. What type of media is your choice to get a copy of the program tonight? It's $75 for one, $60 each for 2 or more, and you can choose any combination of media that you would like. So we hope that you will call in. Our phone operators are standing by right now with Diedrich. This is our story. And speaking of one of our phone operators, I'm standing here with Carrie Jackson, Superintendent of Diedrich Schools. Carrie, thank you so much for being here tonight.
An absolute pleasure. Thanks for having us.
Well, absolutely. It's been a pleasure producing this program with all of you. So as we heard, or we will hear, even more so throughout the program, the school was one of the main reasons why Diedrich is what it is today. So kind of fill us in for about 30 seconds here on your point of view on that.
Yeah, sure. Well, much like any other rural community, the school is pretty much the center of all the activity, the heartbeat. Everything kind of revolves around the school. From Friday night basketball games to, there we go with some phones.
Go ahead and answer that.
Yeah, from Friday night games to concerts, Grandparents' Day, the activities, if there's, space that needs used, the school's there for that. We are a true part of the community, and we're proud of that.
I believe so too, and I'll tell you what, I'm going to let you go so you can answer that
Great.
phone right there.
Yeah.
Go ahead and answer that. We're glad the phones are ringing, and we've got some different set pieces from the school tonight over on the other side of the set, and then I'm going to turn it back over to Ramin, and he's going to talk with Tom.
It's Diedrich on both sides of the studio tonight at WEIU. We're joined by Tom Wright of the Diedrich Community Development Corporation, or as we know it, DCDC. Correct. Tom, great to have you. And as we're going to hear throughout this program, DCDC has its hands in so many things in the community. We're going to hear about those various subjects that reference DCDC. Talk about where Diedrich is now, and how proud are you of the organization DCDC and what you've helped the community with over these last 30 years?
Yeah, thank you. DCDC is Diedrich Community Development Corporation, so we try to bring people in from the whole community, not just the village of Diedrich. So half of our members are probably reside outside the city limits, but it's a group effort, and it's not just DCDC, it's the whole community. We may be the catalyst, but we couldn't do it without the rest of the community. So it's been a real exciting thing to see Diederik go from, I'm going to get Brittany in trouble here, but Brittany is our economic development coordinator, and she was at a different town, and she came into Diederik and said, why would anyone want to live here? And that was 20 some years ago, and now she lives in Diederik, and we're very proud of her because she's played a big part in it, and she's a member of DCDC as well. So it's a community effort.
And you're going to hear about that community effort throughout the night on this program. And Diederik, this is our story. Tom Wright, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Back over to Keanne.
And once again, we're going to offer you a copy of the program tonight. Right there on your screen, it shows 1 DVD, 1 Blu-ray, or 1 flash drive, $75 each. 2 or more of your choice are $60 each. Give us a call. As you just saw a few minutes ago, the phones were ringing. We need those phones ringing. We want to have a phone blitz tonight and have all 4 phone operators busy at the same time.
Absolutely. Good energy in the room. We got a lot of people here from Diederik. We got it all decked out. And this is our 18th Our Story program. It's been an absolute treat. There they are over on the home set. We have it decked out. Glad to have you with us tonight here in the WEIU TV studios. This community has certainly made great strides over these past 30 years. We're going to continue to hear of those things that they have done. The DCDC story we had early in the program because there's so many branches off that, you know, the community really does have its hands in everything.
It really does. And so we're really glad to share that story with you. Also, Carrie Galbraith back here in the white jacket, she started off the program. Great history and how the origin of Diederik came to be. Her grandparents involved with that history as well. When we're taking phone calls tonight, we're going to be giving shout outs to everyone who's calling in. We're going to say the first name and where you're from. So online, we have an order. You can do that as well. You can order online. I have Jill from Diederik. Ask for a copy of the program on a DVD. Jill, thank you so much for supporting our program tonight.
Yeah, a new wrinkle tonight for us presenting this Our Story program. This latest edition, we've presented a copy on DVD or Blu-ray, but now we have a digital file on a flash drive there. As you can see, it's the standard rate that we've usually had, but that digital file is a new avenue as the times have changed. So 3 different ways you can enjoy this program. So we'd love to hear those phones ringing, and please let us know which version you would like to have of this program on Diederik.
So I've got a few more shout outs that I want to give because we have some great food and beverages in the house tonight, and I want to give a shout out to Brett Higgs and Higgs Welding. Thank you so much for keeping us fed well and our thirst quenched, and so all of that is real good energy to keep us going tonight. And I also have some underwriters of the program that I would like to thank. You saw them at the very beginning of the program, but we like to give them shout outs as well. So the Village of Diederik, Wright's Furniture and Flooring, Diederik Bank, Niebrugge Lumber Company, EJ Water, and Illinois Arts Council.
Let's look ahead to our next block. 5 stories in the next block. Brittany Gibson, Brad Hardick, the mayor of Diederik, will be talking about those last 30 years of growth in Diederik. Scott Woltman talks about the red top capital of the word. Tom Niebrugge, who's in studio with us from Diederik Bank. Valerie Sanguinetti on the Machine Gun Company, and Donnie Dorn's story on the Diederik Veterans Memorial. 2 veteran stories that will certainly tug at your heart.
So don't go anywhere. We're going to get back to the show, but we need you to call in tonight, so you can call in whether we're live or during the show. We're getting back to Diederik. This is our story.